students, in this video I'm going to talk about the tricks to learn the examples for ideal and non-ideal solutions and the different types of examples for positive and negative deviation from the ideal solution. Now we know that in ideal solutions we have different types of interaction. For example, if I'm talking about A to be the solvent and B to be the solute, there are going to be interactions between the two solvent particles, two solute particles, and eventually when you have mixed the solution, that means you have mixed the solute and the solvent, there would be interactions between A and B molecules as well. So in ideal solutions we have learned that the interactions between AA and BB, they are almost similar to AB interactions. And also when we are talking about delta V mixing, that is the change in the volume after mixing, it is equal to 0. That means there is no change in the volume when you have mixed A and B together to form a AB solution. Similarly, the delta H mixing, that is the change in enthalpy after mixing, is also, when I'm talking about that heat is almost, the enthalpy change is almost 0, I mean that there is no amount of heat that is being evolved or absorbed. So when I'm talking about ideal solutions, the interactions between the solvent and the solute particles within themselves is almost equal to the interactions between the solute and solvent particles. Delta V mixing is 0, delta H mixing is 0. Now there are few examples that we need to study. The examples like N-butyl bromide plus N-butyl chloride, or you can say N-hexane, N-heptane, benzene, toluene. I'll begin with the example here and then I will come to the other ones. If I'm talking about N-hexane, we know this is an alkane. This is also an alkane. So now what will happen? Both the molecules, both the solute and the solvent particles, they both have van der Waals forces of attraction, right? This is also van der Waals forces of attraction, this also has van der Waals forces of attraction, and when they will mix together, again it is going to be an interaction between an alkane and an alkane, so again it is going to be van der Waals forces of attraction. So this fits perfectly into the example of ideal solutions, because we know that the interactions before mixing and after mixing are almost the same. Similarly, if I'm talking about let's say benzene and toluene, again it is an alkane, they both are aromatic compounds, they both are aromatic hydrocarbons, so again the forces, the interactions here are going to be van der Waals forces of attraction. Now if I talk about ethyl bromide, it is going to be C2H5Br, and here it is going to be C2H5 iodine. Both the cases, bromine is more electronegative, so this is going to be delta negative and delta positive. Similarly, iodine is more electronegative, so this is going to be delta negative and this is going to be delta positive. So there and here, both places, the interactions that are coming into the picture they both are the polar compounds, so the interactions coming into the picture are dipole-dipole interactions. So again, before mixing and after mixing, the type of interactions are almost the same, so they will fit perfectly into the ideal solution scenario. Similarly, N-butyl bromide, N-butyl chloride, the similar example like above, chlorobenzene, bromobenzene, more or less the interactions remain same. Hence, if you have to figure out that some few examples are given to you and you have to figure out what kind of a solution is it, you can easily figure out by knowing the interactions between the solute and solvent particles. Know that there are few solutions which do not follow Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration, and they are divided into two types, positive deviation and the negative deviation. Now we'll study both of them one by one. When I'm talking about positive deviation, I say that the interaction between the solute and solvent molecules are more than the solution, the ones in the solution, or I can say the bonds or the interactions in the solutions are weaker than before. Right, so if they are weaker than before, then I will say that when I'm talking about delta H mixing, there has been heat provided to break the stronger bonds and to convert it into a solution. So here it is positive, or I can say it is endothermic, or I can also say that the heat was absorbed during the formation of solution. Similarly, delta V mixing is also positive as the volume will increase because the bonds have been the stronger bonds have been broken. Similarly, if I'm talking about the negative deviation, here it is the opposite scenario. Now the interactions are stronger than before. So there would be heat released, and it is called as exothermic reaction, and delta V mixing will also be negative because more of the bonds would be formed and the volume will decrease. Now there are few examples written in the NCERT, and we often get confused how to remember them. I will give you a easy trick. For example, if I have ethanol and acetone, I know ethanol have very strong hydrogen bonding. Similarly, acetone have very strong bonding between themselves. So now when you will mix together, they will try to break their intermolecular bonds and between the water, and the bond between the ethanol and water will be weaker. Individually they are strong bonds, but when you will mix them together, the bond formed between these two is going to be weaker. So the final bond is weaker, and we say it is positively deviating from my ideal case scenario. Right. Now, what is the trick to learn it? The trick to learn them is that if I'm talking about positive deviations, mostly alcohols will fall into this category. Your carbon disulfide will get into this category, and your CCl4 will fall into this category. And if I'm talking about negative deviation, mostly acids will fall into this category. Right? So what you have to learn is that if a pair of if a pair of mixture is given to you, and the question is asking you which one is going to be ideal, which is going to be non-ideal, and out of non-ideal if it is positive or negative, what you have to remember that for example, if I'm talking about this, it has an OH group, which is your alcohol. So you can say that it is in the positive deviation group. This is just a trick to learn, because there are a lot of things that you already have to learn for your chemistry exam. Similarly, if I'm talking about the next example, again there is an alcoholic group. Ethanol is there. You have a CS2, then you have a CCl4. They all are falling in the category for positive deviation. If you talk about the negative deviation, I said mostly the acids fall into this category. Your HCl is an acid, your HNO3 is an acid, then you have your CHCl3, your acetic acid, formic acid, again acid. Now only the two exceptions here are these are your exceptions. Otherwise, most of the examples you can figure out by looking at them to which category of solution they will belong.